man. Young Miami next. Because they showed that Young Miami in a lawsuit, her and Diddy, she in the lawsuit, man. Young Miami is one of them young women that do anything to try to be the next Kim Kardashian or the next motherfucking famous person in the world. So Diddy used her as like a slick pimp. He did. And you got Young Miami, she's a female. Then you got Mary J. Blige. You got Jennifer Lopez. You got a lot of females that's involved in this sick ass shit, man. Females. Not just males. You would never think that another female would do something to help some sick ass motherfucker like Diddy or these other men fulfill their needs, but they did, man. Jennifer Lopez went back to the hood because people don't know this about Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez wasn't nothing. Jennifer Lopez wasn't nothing but a fly girl, which nowadays you would call that a backstage dancer. And then you got a person like Puff Daddy came in and he fulfilled his fantasy and snatched her and brought her into his world. But his whole goal was to make Jenny from the block go back to the block and go get him something that he can keep in his motherfucking cage at nighttime, man. And she did it, man. A lot of these folks like Young Miami, she literally in the lawsuit where the little dude Rod, the producer that was living with Diddy, he filed this lawsuit and Young Miami brought her cousin, which that's some weird shit, a man, over to them folks' house, and that man SA'd that man. Young Miami made him do it. And y'all don't think that's some sick shit, man. That's some sick shit when you sit back and you think about all the women in the world that have been assaulted by men. And the people that always scream that if you ain't for women, you against women. When you see women participate in this shit and they be the pimps and be the one to go out and recruit people, you say, damn. You say, damn. But then you got these are black women, man. Mary J. Blige, man. Mary J. Blige, a lot of these people might not have did it yesterday. They might have not have did it 2-3 weeks ago. But the thing that they did years ago is coming back to hunt them in 2024, man. And 2024 have been one of them years where you hear so many people holler out, they got to attack against rappers. They got to attack against black folks. No, man. They got an attack against dumb motherfuckers and pedophiles, man. Which they should. Any motherfucking pedophile, any person that does something to a child deserve whatever they get, man. They deserve that, man, and more. Because I know if someone does something to my child, God forbid, I promise to God, somebody leaving up off this motherfucking planet, man. I wouldn't have been filing no lawsuit in court for Jay-Z. I'd have been down there waiting for Jay-Z to come out one of the motherfucking buildings and make him pay for his sins. And then you had Jay-Z literally tried to be a bully today. He went up in court today, and what a lot of people don't want to understand is they want to holler out, well, yeah, this woman filed a lawsuit 4 months ago, and then she dropped it, and then she picked it up in New York City. The reason that she picked it up in New York City is because it happened in New York City. And another thing Jay-Z want to holler out that this woman is she's Jane Doe and this and that. Jay-Z filed a lawsuit against this woman and the lawyer under John Doe, trying to stop them and silence them from telling the truth. And then for people that don't know nothing about the law, Jay-Z tried to play on the pity of the public and say, they tried to extort me. They tried to extort me by sending me a demand letter. Anytime that someone files a civil suit against anyone, the first step is a demand letter, man. You can believe that a person is not sending a letter that anyone else can read and try to extort you in the public eye, something that's going to be filed in the court system, man. The demand letter is going to be part of the case. So when he talking about somebody tried to extort him, them folks didn't try to extort him. They did what everyone does in a civil lawsuit. They send you a demand letter saying that they feel like this is what can be for the compensation of what they saying that happened. If it's a car wreck, same way, man. Jay-Z trying to distract people from the truth. And Beyonce, she doing what most women do. They stand behind their man, but she knows she's standing behind a sick motherfucker, man. Because she was underage when Jay-Z started messing with her, man. She was 16 years old, and when the truth finally came out, they tried to backtrack and say that they didn't start dating until she turned 18, but he met her at the same MTV Music Awards that this victim is saying that the things happened to her at, man. Ain't that a hell of a coronas? He's saying when Beyonce was 16 years old in 2000, when this victim was 13 years old, 3 years younger than Beyonce, 3 years younger than Beyonce was, man. So it's not a far-fetched pitch to believe that he done it. Because Jay-Z thought he was a gangster and he was untouchable, and now he thought his money had got so big and his head got too big for his motherfucking hat, man. And you can believe that them people is not going to let Jay-Z get away with the thing that them folks said it. Because regardless of what go on in these civil trials, they going to end up in criminal trials, man. You can believe that there is a grand jury forming around the United States, mostly in New York, and you can believe the grand jury is hearing names like LeBron James, Kevin Hart. You can believe that it's a grand jury hearing them people's names and hearing witnesses get in that grand jury and talk about them folks, man. You can believe that. Because the thing about a grand jury, you can summon a grand jury in a state to come in there and tell them for what kind of evidence you got. And when it comes to this Diddy situation, technology is the best thing that them folk gonna ever have against Diddy, man. They own words about ain't no party like a Diddy party, like LeBron James said, gonna come back to hunt him, man. Because King James either gonna be a defendant or gonna be a corroborating witness. Because regardless of what the situation is, King James gonna have to get on his stand and explain what he said on the internet about what no Diddy party, ain't no party like a Diddy party. Only parties is the hardest parties is the Diddy party. And then everybody in the world know Diddy parties was full of zesty people and full of kids. So what was you doing at this party, LeBron James? And Jay-Z, what was you doing in 2000 when this victim said that you and P. Diddy and another person was in a room and y'all done something horrible to her? People think about in 2000, Jay-Z was 35 years old in 2000, bro. Beyonce was 16 years old in 2000, bro. Beyonce was 16 years old in 2000. Jay-Z, 55 years old, and he was dealing with Beyonce when she was underage, man. And that's the thing about it, man. You got to sit back and you got to actually watch these individuals and you can say, well, that might be true. Especially when you do your research and you find out that this person liked young women. He was chasing after Beyonce. She was 16 years old, man. She was 16. She wasn't 18. She was at this, I know she got to feel real bad because she was at the same music awards in 2000 that this victim said that he done his at the same party. And when them folks say celebrity A and celebrity B, you gotta wonder who celebrity B is, man. B could be for Beyonce, but B could just be Kevin Hart. B could be Usher. B could be LeBron James. B could be any celebrity and athlete that you know that went to one of them Diddy parties, man. B name is waiting to be popped out. And when whoever B is, B already know because he got that demand letter in the mail just like Jay-Z did, man. So whoever the defendant B is, he know that his brand is fit to be tarnished. And you can believe it's somebody very important like Kevin Hart or LeBron James. It ain't going to be the butler or the maid in the party that's being sued. You can believe it's somebody rich and powerful, somebody that always holler out, I'll protect kids, and I always... If you say, like, I tell you, Jay-Z pissed me off today in his statement. His statement said, everyone always believe and say that I protect kids. Look at Jay-Z. If you really protected kids, why the hell would you go to a Diddy party where everybody in the world was screaming out that these people was abusing kids at, man? Ain't no person that say that they really care about children. I want to protect children. Don't go to no motherfucking gathering of pedophiles. Because that's what the party was, man. This party was a party of sick motherfuckers that had a thirst for their fantasy, bro. And when they went to these motherfucking parties, they got their motherfucking rocks off. They just didn't know what nobody in the world gonna find out about it one day, man. That's all it was. They thought that wasn't nobody in the world ever gonna find out about their shame, man. They thought that hope, and then when Diddy went to jail, you can believe a lot of people was holding their head and thinking to themselves about every time they done something wrong in their life. You can believe every motherfucker that was at them Diddy parties and bumped into them strippers and bumped into everybody, you can believe that they thinking, man, I might have shouldn't have done what I done, man. And then they want to throw it back and holler out, one day I got to tell my kids that the world is greedy and the world is this. Won't you tell your kids that you went to a motherfucking Diddy party where every motherfucker at the party was sick individuals that was playing games with kids, and I ain't talking about on the merry-go-round, man. So Jay-Z, when you sit down and tell your motherfucking kids the story of how you got put in this situation, make sure you tell them that you met their mama when she was 16 years old, and that's what you call statutory you know what, man. Make sure you tell your kids the reason why them folk brought you up and charged you with these crimes is because you put yourself in a situation and went to a party that was known for these type of activities, man. So I don't feel sorry for them. And I tell you this, it don't surprise me when I see a celebrity being sued for something like a SA charge, or because you see women being sued nowadays, man. Tisha Harris, Tiffany Harris, Aaron Spahn. Them folk was out there grooming children. Them folk was out there doing inappropriate things with children and recording it, man. It's a lot of these sick motherfuckers, comedians, athletes that do shit and they all like, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Oops, I didn't understand that was inappropriate. How the fuck do you not feel like anytime that you have inappropriate contact with a child that is inappropriate? How do you not feel like that's not inappropriate, man? But a lot of these people, they just thought that they had so much money and so much power that couldn't nobody touch them, man. That's what it boiled down to, it, man. People get a lot of money, and when they start getting millions, they look at people that ain't got money like they ain't shit, and they can buy them off. They can push them to the side. They can go online and scream, oh, they lying. Every motherfucker that accuse somebody of doing something to them ain't lying, man. There's some motherfuckers that need to take the victim's word until the victim is proven wrong. Because when you got a lawyer like Tom Bozak, he's the lawyer that filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z. Jay-Z made himself look like a fucking imbecile when he put that statement out, trying to bash dude name, talking about Tom Bozo, just some avalanche chasing. Dude got more money than Jay-Z and Beyonce. That lawyer. Dude don't settle billion motherfucking dollar cases against corporations, representing governors and senators in lawsuits and in criminal cases. Dude got more motherfucking money than Beyonce and Jay-Z put together, but Jay-Z gonna go online and call him a frivolous lawyer. Then you had lawyers in CNN and all around the world spoke up and said, Jay-Z, you lying. Jay-Z, you playing with the right motherfucking one. He the Johnny Cochran of 2024, motherfucker. Tom Bozak is the motherfucking Johnny Cochran of 2024. So you can believe if dude filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z, he got motherfucking proof to say he ain't gonna ruin his motherfucking name on no frivolous ass lawsuit unless he can prove what happened, man. And people act like it wasn't camera phones and video recordings and things like that in 2000, because it was. It was. You know what I mean? So you want to holler out Poe Jay-Z, you need to be hollering out Poe the victim, man. Because a lot of them motherfucking celebrities, as soon as somebody come out, that's why a lot of victims don't come forward, because if they fighting somebody so powerful, them folks try to tarnish them in the media before they even know their name. They try to make them say that they ain't shit, they just some money-grubbing ass woman or something like that, and sometimes that ain't even true, man. Sometimes that ain't true. That's like, I don't understand how AHA Radio constantly lets Charlamagne be on the Breakfast Club and victimize Jessica Reed over and over by seeing his face on there, knowing that he pled guilty. He pled guilty, man. Charlamagne the God pled guilty for a crime that first started off as a sexual assault, and he pled guilty to a lesser crime, which was contributing to the delinquency of a minor, giving alcohol and narcotics to a minor. But 20-some years later, this motherfucker still screaming he innocent when he pled guilty. Then he actually used the Breakfast Club platform, which is powered by AHA Radio, to victimize his victim every fucking day by saying she lying when he pled guilty to it, man. You can't say that you innocent of a crime if you pled guilty to a crime, a lesser charge, when you was charged with something more serious like SAing a child like Charlamagne was, man. But then you got him all around the world trying to talk about politics and talk about this and talk about that when ain't nobody trying to hold him accountable. It's a lot of sick motherfuckers in the world that ain't being held accountable for their actions against children, man. Because people look at them and say, oh, they was poor. They nothing. They just somebody looking for some money. Everybody ain't looking for money, man. Some people looking for justice, man. Some people just been scared to come forward because they were scared of what the media was going to make them look like they was, man. You got people to be victimized by rich people every day, superstars, celebrities, and they don't want to come out because people on the internet gonna start posting their picture talking about she just a nutting ass or he just a nutting ass, they just looking for money. When in actuality, some people just looking for justice, man. And a lot of people don't know this. Them folks file lawsuits because lawsuits make a lot of governments, like criminal prosecutors, open their eyes and take a look at a case, because if a person files a civil lawsuit, they lay down everything and all the evidence out there in the public for you to see. They lay it out there. So that's why a lot of these people, you see, P. Diddy got lawsuits filed against him over and over, and then them folk came and picked him up and arrested his ass, man. Because it's one thing when it's just an allegation, but when an allegation can be proven to be true, that's when they come and get you, man. That's when an allegation is no longer just an allegation. That means that them folk got some evidence to prove what they saying you done, you done. Even if it's a witness or even if it's some kind of technology device as a recording device that recorded the things you was doing, either audio, are you talking to someone and you actually confessing to the thing that you done? And see what Diddy fucked up because he went in there off the WAP and he settled that lawsuit with Cassidy, admitting to the thing that Cassidy said he done in the lawsuit. And a lot of things that Cassidy said in the lawsuit was saying that Diddy was an aggressor and he was essaying people and forcing her to have, unconsensual sex with individuals she didn't even know. For real. So Cassidy is going to be either a witness or a co-conspirator. And I can see her being a witness before I can see her being a co-conspirator because she's a victim too. But she helped victimize other people too, though, man. That's what people don't understand. Just because you being a victim, you supposed to stop it when someone wants you to go out there and help them victimize somebody else, man. Especially a child. That's when you supposed to step up and say, man, look, you got your hold on me and you make me do what you want me to do, but I would not go out there and help you bring no extra victims in here, help you drug a person, or help you coerce somebody to come in here. Because a lot of these people came in these rooms thinking that they were going to be famous and walked out that motherfucker unfamous, bruised and abused, man. Y'all folks don't understand that these folks at these freakouts was going for days at a time to the point where these folks had medical staff, nurses with them to hook them folks up with IV so they can keep on going, man. That's some sick shit. That's some sick shit, man. That's a whole nother level of sickness that was going on in them Diddy parties, man. And I'm telling you, I sit back and I watch all these celebrities squirm and cause we ain't gotta worry about Jay-Z being the NFL ambassador no more. Jay-Z is the NFL are going if they haven't, you can believe they on drew up and cut ties with Jay-Z. Because in them closets that a lot of them rappers and actors, that's like Kevin Hart. You can believe Bet MGM is already telling Kevin Hart the first time your name come out, you got to go. You can believe that any motherfucker, I don't care how cold LeBron James is on that basketball court, if someone say LeBron James did what they saying that Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z did, you can believe that LeBron James won't be able to play on their NBA team in the league. Them folk gonna blackball him. And his whole legacy of everything he built up, his brand is gonna be tarnished. You're not gonna be able to buy a LeBron jersey from nobody that's gonna be worth $5, man. Because ain't nobody gonna wanna put no Predators merchandise on knowing that you might be funding a person that does things to kids, man. It just is what it is. You know, and it don't matter that these people are celebrities. It don't matter that these people got money. It just matters if these people actually done these things that they need to be held accountable for it, man. That's what people don't understand. When you sit back and you talk about this, you got to say, if this shit is true, then every last one of these motherfuckers need to be punished. Every last one of these motherfuckers, if these folk can prove that Jay-Z, Kevin Hart, LeBron James, or any other person ever done something to a child, then them folk need to be took on a nature walk, man. Every last one of them motherfuckers need more than just jail, man. If they done something to a child, they can be proven, man. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck because you always, like Jay-Z want to scream, I got to explain this to my kids, man. Sit your kids down and explain to your kids that you was a sick-ass motherfucker going to parties where people around the world already knew that there was participating in things that people and kids were being harmed at, man. Explain that to Blue Ivy, that you met her motherfucking mama when she was 16 years old, which was a crime, and you started having a relationship with her. And Beyonce daddy and mama need to be held accountable for that type of shit, man. Because they let that shit go on, man. Beyonce daddy should have stepped in and said, Jay-Z, you 35 years old. What the fuck do you got to do with my child? People don't understand that, man. Jay-Z was 35 years old when he met Beyonce, man. Jay-Z damn near 60 years old, man. So you can't say Jay-Z don't like them young. You can't say Jay-Z don't like them young. He went and got a younger woman, Beyonce. He got her when she was still Destiny's Child with the emphasis on child, man. She was still a fucking child when Jay-Z started dating her, man. She was still an adolescent and didn't know no better. And her mom and daddy let her down. And then he made 3-4 babies with that child, and now she his wife. That's what you call child bride, man. That's a child bride. So you can't say that you won't do it when we seen you done it in the public eye. And then you want to go back and try to backdate the time and say, oh yeah, I met her when she was 16, but I didn't start actually dating her till she was 18. So what was you doing in them 2 years with Beyonce, Jay-Z? Just going on casual dates with a chaperone? You was 35 motherfucking years old. You shouldn't even been looking at that 16-year-old child in any kind of way. That's what people ain't thinking. Why the fuck was a 35-year-old man looking at a 16-year-old child in a sexual way like Jay-Z was looking at Beyonce, man? If I'm 35 years old, I'm not going to be looking at no motherfucking child thinking to myself, I can't wait till she turn 18. No, man. That's some sick shit. That's some sick ass shit. And if that's what he done, it's still sick, man. That mean he waited and waited and waited and prayed and prayed and prayed. And when she turned 18, guess what he was doing in the hotel room on her 18th birthday? Committing a carnal sin, motherfucker. That's what Jay-Z was doing. So any way that you look at it, man, dude like younger women, man. And Beyonce wasn't his first victim, but she was a victim of Jay-Z's, man. She just fell in love with her predator, man. She fell in love with the person that was doing shit to her. She felt like, because at the time it was Hove and Jay, Bonnie and Clyde, you know what I mean? Yeah, he like him young, man. He like him young. That's why he can't scream that, oh, if you know anything about me, I'm a man that respect kids. Dude, you was praying on Beyonce when she was 16 in 2000. And the accuser was 13 in 2000. So she was number 3 years younger than Beyonce. So ain't no way that you gonna tell me that you might not didn't do what this girl said you did. And for them folks to have such a high-powered lawyer that ain't never filed no frivolous lawsuit in his life and won billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars in every lawsuit he ever filed, I'm gonna believe that they got some motherfucking hardcore evidence on Jay-Z, man. I'm gonna believe that whoever that accuser is got some kind of evidence and they ain't just going out there on a limb and hollering out, we telling you, you better give us some money or else. You can believe them folk got some motherfucking evidence, man. Man, get off my page, man. I gotta block these weak ass trolls and shit, man. You get off my page, Mo Low. Yeah, man. See, any person that sit here and gonna tell me I got my facts and shit wrong, you stupid motherfuckers don't gotta do nothing but Google it. Beyonce was 16 motherfucking years old, man. Jay-Z was 35. If Jay-Z is 55 years old right now, 20 years ago, how old was Jay-Z? 35. 20 years ago, how was Beyonce? 16, man. The fuck wrong with you? How I got my math wrong? How I got my math wrong? Hold on. Let's add this up. Let's do it, because people say foolish shit and you got to prove them wrong, man. How old is Beyonce? That's the thing about it. Jay-Z damn near 20-some years older than Beyonce, man. Tell me that he don't like him young. You got me fucked up. You can't tell me something I know, man. Yeah. But he met Beyonce when he was 16, bro. He 55. I don't think Beyonce no 43. Beyonce. But if you look, but you got to think, bro, when he met her when she was underage. She was underage, man. She was underage when he met her, so whenever you get done, that means he was a sick-ass motherfucker when you get through, man. When you get said and done, you must be one of them pedophiles like Jay-Z them, man. Because any motherfucker that want to try to justify an age difference when you talking about an adult and a child, then you a sick motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. What type of 35-year-old man gonna be sitting there? She 43, he 55. When did Beyonce meet Jay-Z? Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Meet Jay-Z. Let's just say what the internet say. It says meet cute Beyonce. It says she was 18. Jay-Z was 30 years old when they met each other for the first time at the MTV Spring Music Festival in Cancun, Mexico, between 1990 and 2000. But see, in 1990, Beyonce was 16 for the turn 17 years old, man. That's why they say 1990 and 2000. Jay-Z was 30 motherfucking years old when he started messing with Beyonce. So when you get through, he was a motherfucking pedophile, fool. Talking about 12-year difference. It's a big difference when you 30 years old and you dealing with a motherfucking child. Tap that screen if it's a big difference. If you 30 years old and you dealing with a child. That's a charge, man. Fuck you, man. And anybody that think that it ain't a charge, you a sick motherfucker waiting to be charged your goddamn self. You sick bastard. Because this show say it. And when people say, because I read a story before, it said that Beyonce and Jay-Z actually didn't start dating till she was 18. But he actually met her when she was 16 years old, bro. They met when she was 16. Jay-Z, it says on the internet, it says, meet cute. Beyonce was 18, but then it says the Music Spring Festival in Cancun between 1990 and 2000. So they saying between 2 different years. So if you take one of them years away from Beyonce, she underage. You take one of them years away from Jay-Z, he was 29 years old. So any way you look at it, Jay-Z was fucking with a child, man. The fuck wrong with y'all? He was fucking with a child. And that's just doing the mouth mo. You need to do your mouth mo. These are all facts. That's always been the thing about Jay-Z and Beyonce relationship that people always scream that Jay-Z had to be a predator, and somebody, Beyonce, mom and daddy, should have stepped in a long time ago, man. Because ain't no 30-year-old man looking at no child, hoping and praying and waiting till she turn 18 so he can make her his gal, man. Because that's what they trying to say Jay-Z did. They trying to say, oh, no, he didn't do it when she was young. He waited till she was 18. Damn. They make it better? They make it better that that man sit around and prayed and waited for a motherfucker to turn 18. So that means he watched a child. He sit there and stalked the child until she was legal. And then he took his chance. Either way you look at it, man, it's a sick ass ending to a beginning, man. You can't get around it. Yeah, man, Beyonce daddy and mama need to be held accountable for letting that motherfucking predator step up in their child's life and pretty much take her from childhood to now, man. Beyonce been with Jay-Z since she literally was 16 years old, man. Literally. Ain't no, if I ever in my life sit beside a motherfucking grown man and he let some words come out of his mouth like I can't wait till she get grown, I'm gonna blow his head back like a hairdryer, man. Any sick motherfucker that's sitting back waiting on a motherfucking child to turn 18 so they can do something with them, they's a nasty bastard, man. They's a nasty motherfucker, and a motherfucker need to do something to them folks, man. But there's a lot of women around here that date these men that really ain't doing nothing but watching their daughters and waiting for their daughters to slip up so they can try to shake something with them, man. They kids. So these women invite these predators in their motherfucking life, man. You know, and then you sit back and you hear a lot of these young women, when they get 20, 30 years old, they screaming and cussing at their mama talking about Joe Blow did this, Joe Blow touched me when you wasn't looking. And you act like you surprised. You got all these sick motherfuckers online marrying their stepdaughters and marrying they wives' child 10, 20 years later. Ain't no way talking about I didn't look at her that way when she was a child. Ain't no motherfucking way you been around a child all day motherfucking life and when they turn 18 you be their motherfucking spouse or they mate. You's a sick bastard, man. You's a sick motherfucker. If you know a child from when they was born and they walking around you and you start messing with that child, you is a predator and a pedophile and a motherfucker need to take you off in the woods and feed you to them hogs, man. They really do. Motherfuckers need to make these sick motherfuckers pay more than any other motherfucking crime in the world. Because these sick motherfuckers victimize these children, boys and girls, and ruin their motherfucking mindset for life, man. For life. They ruin their life, man. And a lot of these parents are so eager, are so thirsty for fame that they'll put their children in situations that they be harmed, man. All about some money. That's like that grown-ass man that's doing that live screen all the time. What's his name? Casanet? Casanet ain't got nothing but a whole bunch of little boys and he called them his kids on a live screen, man. He a grown-ass man on a live screen every day playing video games and ain't got nothing but little boys around him all day long. Don't nobody find that strange as fuck that this man ain't doing nothing but live screening all day long with nothing but kids playing video games. That ain't normal, man. That shit is not normal. And I know he got clout right now and I know he getting his money, but I guarantee you years from now somebody gonna come out and say he touched him, man. Because ain't no grown-ass man gonna be around number children all motherfucking day, 24 hours a day. And that trick did a screen-a-thon for 30 straight days and it wasn't nothing but a whole bunch of little boys in that motherfucker, man. It ain't no boys and girls in that house. It's a whole bunch of little boys, and it ain't even no question. Some of them little boys zesty as a motherfucker, black and white. Ain't no question about that, man. You know what I mean? So when you watching a lot of these people on the internet, you already know what they doing. They doing it in your face, man. They doing that sick ass shit in your face. And if a lot of people just do their research on these people like Jay-Z, you would know the dude was a predator from the beginning when it became Beyonce, man. You would know that when he say he got to sit down and explain to his daughters one day about how sick the world is, he going to have to involve his name in that situation, man. Because he got to tell his daughter, Blue Ivy, the truth. That I sought your mama when she was 16 years old, because it's on the internet, man. He's not going to be able to dispute that he was around and he was so-called in a relationship with Beyonce when she was 16. Even if it wasn't sexual when she was 16, he was in a relationship with her. They was calling him Bonnie. They were calling him Clyde and calling her Bonnie. And it kind of funny when she turned 18 years old, she ain't been with no other man but Jay-Z? Come on now. That was some sick shit in the making. That was all sick shit in the making, bro. You can pay attention to the writing on the wall that dude like young women. 30 motherfucking year old man ain't supposed to be talking to no 16-year-old girl, man. 30-year-old man ain't supposed to be looking at no 16, 17-year-old girl in no Destiny Child thinking to himself, ooh, when she turn 18, she mine. Only a sick motherfucker think like that. And he did it, man. He did it. That's like Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons over there hiding out in Ballah right now, but they gonna bring him to the United States and make him pay for his actions. Because he married a child bride, and now the child bride coming out, Kimora Simmons, man, he brought her from a whole nother country, and she didn't even have no documentation, man. You know what I mean? She didn't even have no documentation to show. Kimora Simmons came over into America as an undocumented person. She did. So when she came over here, we don't know if she was 17 or 10. But when I first seen Kimora Simmons, she looked like she was a 12-year-old little girl in a Rambo movie in a Vietnam village, man. For real shit. She wasn't Kimora Simmons, the supermodel or the superstar. She was one of them little girls that you see on them documentaries that look like them kids over in Vietnam that them soldiers bring back over to America and make them folk their wives, man. That's what Kimora Simmons looked like when Russell Simmons married her. Russell Simmons damn near 80 years old. Kimora Simmons damn near 40. He damn near 30 years older than her. And now that all the people coming out and saying the thing, Kimora Simmons trying to get her piece of the pie before all them victims get the money up, man. That's why Kimora Simmons going online and her and Russell Simmons going through the thing they go through even though they divorced. Because she like, I'm going to get that money for my kids before all the other victims get it. Because when it boiled down to it, I guarantee Kimora Simmons is younger than what she really is. Because when she came to America, she was an undocumented person, bro. Kimora Simmons became an American when she married Russell Simmons. Kimora Simmons is not from America, bro. A lot of them rich motherfuckers do that sick ass shit and bring them people over here and they marry them. They bring them over here to be their maids, their babysitters, you know what I mean? And then they end up being their concubines. Then they end up being their wives. After they don't been living in their houses, scrubbing their toilets for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 years, then when they become a legal age, or even when they ain't even legal age, they make them their bride, bro. And I'm always going to say that any sick motherfucker that do something to a child needs to be punished. Punished with an ultimate motherfucking P, bro. Any motherfucker that do anything to a child need to be punished. And I ain't talking about in no motherfucking courtroom, bro. Jay-Z lucky that I wasn't Beyonce daddy when he started trying to date her at 16 years old. Cause I would have blew Jay-Z head back like a hairdryer and let him know I don't give a fuck if you from the Bronx. I don't give a fuck where you from, sucker. You a grown-ass 30-year-old man out here chasing after my 16, 17-year-old daughter, man. You know what I mean? That's what people don't understand. That's what they don't understand, that these folks was doing it in plain sight in front of everybody. And the only reason people paying attention and hollering out calculation is because people trying to add up them days and years that these sick motherfuckers was doing what they was doing. But you ain't looking at Jay-Z and looking at Beyonce and hollering out he was 19 and she was 17. He was 30 and she was 16, 17 years old, man. He was 30 years old. He could have had a child the same age as Beyonce, bro. For real. Real shit. So when you boil down to it and we watch this Jay-Z and P. Diddy shit unfold, Jay-Z gonna be tucked in handcuffs and be put in federal custody for long, bro. Jay-Z gonna be arrested before long, and he gonna be sitting in the federal building right beside P. Diddy, bro. Beyonce ain't number 43 years old. I don't give a fuck what you saying, man. You sound like a fucking idiot. Especially when you can sit back and backtrack when she was in Destiny's Child. This ain't Beyonce is not no person that just popped out of nowhere, man. This individual actually grew up in our face as a child. You know what I mean? We watched Beyonce go from being a child to a grown-ass woman. We watched that, man. We watched Beyonce them go through Destiny's Child and have 3-4 different Destiny's Child members, bro. It's a reason why they was called Destiny's Child. Because they was all children, man. They was all children under the age of 18 years old in a group. Beyonce wasn't older than what she was. See, that sounded like some sick-ass pedophile. I had to block him. Because you trying to make an excuse and make Beyonce be older than she was. Well, when you get through and you get said and done, man, dude was 30 motherfucking years old and she was underage, fool. When you get said and done, dude started stalking that little girl when she was 16 years old, man. I don't give a fuck when they got married. He met her when she was underage and he ended up sodding her out and making her his wife. That's some sick ass shit. That's some sick ass shit for you to know that a child is a child and you sitting there counting her days on her birthday waiting for her to turn 18 so you can commit a sin. You's a sick motherfucker. You're a sick motherfucker, Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts around that shit, man. When the writing is on the wall, the writing is on the wall, and all the writing on the wall say Jay-Z is a pedophile, man. It ain't even got nothing to do with the latest victim. You got to think about the victim that he lay in the house with every motherfucking day, Beyonce. You got to think about the underage woman that he married. I don't give a fuck if she was 18 when he married her. Beyonce daddy should have done something to Jay-Z when he found out he was looking to try to make her his girlfriend and he was 30 years old. I wish my 16, 17, 18-year-old daughter would come on talking about some 30-year-old man looking at her like he want her. I'm going to know he a pedophile and a sick motherfucker. Because what type of motherfucker looking at a motherfucker that's barely grown, mind ain't developed, body ain't fully developed, and thinking to themselves, I want her. Yeah, she knew. I'll tell you this, man. If a young girl starts dealing with an older man, she know that he like younger women. She know that Jay-Z was 30 years old, so if these allegations are true, she knew, man. She knew. Ain't no way around it, because you got to think that if he was 30 years old and only person know the truth of when the first time or the only first time that they had intercourse is between Beyonce and Jay-Z, man. So she know that he was a 30-year-old man running after an underage girl, which was her. So she know that he like a young and firm. She know he like a young man. You can believe Jay-Z ain't got no other motherfucking... It just be, these pedophiles, bro. I gotta block these pedophiles off my page. See, these pedophiles pull up, he talking about Nike. See, it's just some weird-ass pedophile. I'm pretty sure he on the sex offender register somewhere, wherever he at in his house, in his town. Doesn't be the only motherfucker that gonna say something bad when we sitting there talking about predators and pedophiles. You know what I mean? What type of person gonna say that a man that's sitting there saying that anyone that do something to a child should be punished is weird? That mean you are a pedophile. That mean you weird. That mean you on a sex offender register somewhere, Nike. For real. It's beyond just hate. There's sickness going through his body. Any motherfucker that speak up against a person that's speaking out against any person that's talking about a person that's harming a child, they are a predator and a sick motherfucker. They self, and I'm pretty sure they already on the register in their state, bro. I'm pretty sure that they already named. That's why he on here with a thing called Nike. That's why he ain't got his real name like I got on my platform, because he's a predator and he can't put his name on no social media page. That's what people don't understand. Most of them folks that ain't got their real name on a social media page is because they can't legally operate a social media page because they're a sex offender, bro. For real. That's real shit. That's why a lot of them motherfuckers put them phony ass names and don't have their picture on their pages, because they are sex offenders and it is against the sex offenders policy for them to have any social media page, period. So when I see them people with no face page and all that other shit, I block them folks, man. I block them because I know they ain't nothing. I know they ain't shit. And I'm always going to tell a motherfucker, if your child come to you and tell you somebody is doing something to them, shit, you better take fucking heed, man. My child come and tell me that someone has done something to them, touched them in an inappropriate way, I'm finna go talk to them folks, and ain't nobody else that's gonna see them folks no more in life, man. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. I don't believe in calling the police and let my child go sit on no stand and put some slick ass lawyer in there and they make my child look like the problem. Make my child look like that this shit didn't happen. When my child ain't never lied to me in their life and they told me this motherfucker did this to them. So I'm gonna pull that hair dryer out and I'm gonna blow that motherfucker head back with that hair dryer and go and make sure that he never do that to another motherfucker, and we ain't gotta worry about that. Then I'll get up in court and let you folks try me, and I'm gonna tell you the reason I done it, and I'll do it again. Fuck you, man. That's what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna let the system victimize my child twice, or my loved one twice. Because when you dealing with the criminal justice system and you dealing with a jury, you dealing with people that act on their own emotions and their own feelings. And sometimes the jury get it wrong, bro. Sometimes the jury get it wrong. You know what I mean? Sometimes, and why do I want to take a chance of my child being brave enough to come and tell me something so horrible that happened to them, and I not go deal with it. I'm gonna go deal with it. I'm gonna go make sure that my child know that they daddy told them from the beginning, if somebody do something to you, you come tell me, I'm gonna do something about it. Cause I told all my kids that. I told my kids, if anybody on this planet, I don't give a fuck if it's my mama, my daddy, my brother, your uncle. If someone do something to you, you come and tell me, and your daddy gonna deal with it. I didn't tell them, look, if somebody do something to you, we gonna call the police and we gonna have a trial and we gonna make you have to get on the stand. I said, if somebody do something to you, you come tell your daddy, and I'm gonna deal with that. And I meant that. I meant that with every motherfucking bone in my body. I meant when I told my daughters and my sons that if someone touch you, I take some from you that you didn't give them willingly, call your daddy. Because I'm going to come take that goddamn soul, man. I promise you. Ain't now one of my children never going to walk around this earth and feel like that they've been victim by no motherfucker that's still walking around on this earth, bro. I'm not going to let my children walk around on this earth. I don't give a fuck if they're 30 years old, man. I'm not going to let my daughter or my son walk around this world and feel like I let them down, man. I'm not going to let them come to me and they tell me something so sinister as someone have done something to them and touched them, and I don't take their word for it, bro. I'd rather take their word and go take that motherfucking life than find out that they wasn't telling the truth. I find out they was telling the truth. I'm going to take their word. I'm going to take, and if that means that I'm going to go to prison for the rest of my life, oh well. I'm going to go in that motherfucker and I'm going to kick back and I'm going to know that I done what I supposed to done because God told me to protect my kids, man. And any other kid that's around you, bro. I was taught in life that you always protect the child. You know, if you see a woman arguing with her dude, it might be another situation, and you get there and you get to talking and you get to see, some people just say stupid shit. You sound real stupid and illiterate. But yeah, people, you know what I mean? Like, kids always matter, man. You always protect the kids and the old people. That's one thing that I was always taught in life, man. Even in the streets and being a hood motherfucker and out there grinding in the streets, you made sure that a motherfucker, them junkers didn't break into them old people's houses. You made sure them junkers knew that you better not go over and snatch that old woman purse, because we gonna beat the brakes off your motherfucking ass. We made sure that the clunkers and motherfuckers that was doing shit to people in the hood, that they stayed away from and May. We made sure they stayed away from the old woman house down the street. We made sure that if that woman said that somebody broke in her house and we found out, we kicked his motherfucking ass to let him know, you don't do that in our neighborhood, sucker. You don't do that in our neighborhood. You know what I mean? You don't do it. See, nowadays, people have lost control of their neighborhoods and their children. You know, for real, people don't want to hold themselves accountable for their children's actions. I understand that some children are out of control, but if your child coming in the house at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, that's already a problem. That's already a problem. My grandmama used to have a rule that if you didn't get to that door before 10 o'clock at night, that motherfucker wasn't getting open till 6 o'clock the next morning, and she meant it. That meant your ass was going to either be sleeping on the porch or sleeping on somewhere else. You know what I mean? Shit. You know what I mean? I tell you, man, shit, people, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I did a story the other day about this mother out of Memphis. They charged this mother out of Memphis with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. And what she done was crazy because her son was out here carjacking people, robbing people, and was in a high-speed chase, and they put his picture on TV looking for him. His mama texted him and said, go get them hammers out the house, and don't forget to leave a sack on the counter for me. There's supposed to be somebody's mama sitting there encouraging her 14-year-old son that they end up going to get anyway. And they charged her with the same motherfucking crime that her son was charged with, which was carjacking and theft of property. Which they should have. Because if you tell a motherfucking mama or daddy that if we come in your house and we find stolen thing that we gon' lock your ass up, shit. A motherfucker done worked all their life gonna make sure that they shake their child down at the door. I tell that motherfucker to find him a new residency, man. You ain't never supposed to encourage your children to go out there and commit no motherfucking crimes. And I ain't finna be sitting up in my house smoking no motherfucking tree with my 13, 14, 15-year-old child, man. The fuck wrong with you? Talking about you got the cigars, I got the tree. Nigga, you talking to your 14, 15-year-old child. You turning your child into a piece of shit. Ain't no wonder your child going to the penitentiary. Ain't no wonder you doing a GoFundMe for your motherfucking son because he broke in the wrong motherfucking car. You didn't teach him no better. You didn't tell him, don't do that because somebody might do this. You didn't do that. No, you said, go do this and go do that, and we're going to chop it up later on. But that's true, though, man. You can Google what I'm saying. It happened in Memphis, man. They charged the mother with the same crime as the child. But that type of shit going on every day out here in the world, man. These people want to be they children's friend than being their motherfucking parent. They rather say, I'm your G mama than I'm your grandmama. They want to tell some motherfucking nigga in the club that that's their sister and not tell them that that's their 15, 16-year-old daughter, man. That's the sick shit that go on out in this world, man. You got mamas out here taking their underage children to clubs and letting them use their ID to get in the club. Tell me that ain't crazy. You taking your 16, 17-year-old daughter to the club and letting her use your ID to get in. You know what I mean? Well, it's been fun, y'all, but they finna bat my live. I got 3 strikes on this motherfucker. They just hit me with 3 different strikes talking about that I'm speaking hate speech. And that's them trolls, but y'all, it ain't no big deal. Y'all can go to my YouTube. My YouTube page always gonna be live, and this ain't even my main page. My main page is Voice of the Hood, man. You know what I mean? I got damn near 60,000 subscribers on that page. You know what I mean? But see, the thing about these folks is they don't want to hear the truth. And anytime that I get online and I get to talk about these pedophiles and people that's doing things to children, they block me. They ban me. They ban my live. But they can't stop the truth. So if you see my live go dead, you know why. Go to my YouTube and Voice for the Hood.